Good evening from Studio 10 Broadcasting 10 o'clock talks. I am Michael Anthony. Open chat, open line. What's happening? Truckers, support. To all you beautiful patriots. Holy wars have begun. Truckers gathering in many spots throughout the country and still heading to this huge convoy. So I figured I'd come on tonight and support. I got a couple people want me to do video feeds. So we'll see what happens here. Let me get back to my live page and make sure I got something going on here. All right. Make sure we're streaming. Make sure. We never know if we always are. That's the problem with it. Technology. It's so beautiful. It's so great. It doesn't even work. Anyway, okay. So here I am alone. It's all right. I don't mind being alone. I didn't tell anybody I was coming on. So I would think we'll get at least one Patriot in here tonight, right? Maybe one. I don't know. It seems kind of dead out there. But anyway, might have some interesting highlights coming through shortly. And I thought I'd come on for that. What is it? Like Monday? Yeah, the beginning of the week. Gas prices, $4.59, over $5 a gallon in Pennsylvania. I'm seeing a lot of different prices posted everywhere as far as that and how that goes. Capitol Police are working on executive emergency orders in fear of the trucks. They probably should be in fear. There's a lot of people disappointed out there right now. Really are. Biden swears to give $10 billion for Ukraine. Yeah, more money to protect because he can give it because in ways it's our tax money. We will owe it. It will be a debt to the American people. You can count on that. And you know, Zelensky, he talks strong. Sure, he talks real strong. Who's his successor? Does he have a successor? Who would it be if he falls? Makes you wonder. I don't know. Anyway, some other things that came up, just creating some chat here. Kim Potter. Does anybody remember her? Well, maybe you'll remember a little bit if I add into the fact Alec Baldwin, the fatal shot. Or how about the one who shot Ashley Babbitt? Where are these cases? What's going on? More suppressed information's out there for sure. Corky, how you doing? Thanks for dropping in. It's just an open chat tonight. Anybody that wants to vent, come through, wants to say anything. Waiting here. I might have Patriot Labs coming through live with some. Well, he's out and about. Let me just say that he's the William Ray of Patriots out there, and he wants me to try to stream him. So I thought, hey, okay, it's for the people, we the people, for the Patriots, for the truckers. I'll come on. Let's see if anybody comes in, if he does go live, and I believe he will. He was going to go and talk to some of the truckers, do some videos, and then we're going to stream them to you. So that's what we're doing right now. In the meantime, if anybody comes in, has anything on their mind, bring it up. Just bring it up. And Beth, I can hardly even talk, Michael, and I would love it if you're coming on. I could watch you and listen to you. Well, okay. Hello, I'm here. It doesn't have to be placed everywhere either. I'm not worried about that. This is, whatever we can do to help support the truckers. If anybody's going to come on, if anybody has comments, or within the Patriot groups like 100 Million, Red, White, and Blue, America Disclosing Uncensored, Christians for Our America. There's a lot of Patriot groups. There really are. I don't know if anybody's even half aware of what's going on. Also want to shout out a big shout to Terry, the Terror Anderson down in Texas. I'm not sure if Terry's on the road right now in the caravan of this convoy that's going on. Terry, if you're on, step in. Send me, and I'll send you a link. trying to get more information here for the people, for the public. I did post a couple of videos this morning, and I've heard a lot on two sides. Um, some are angrier than more than others, so I'll just put it to you that way. But again, we're in the middle of a fight, a battle for America, and Americans are stepping up. They're standing, and the ones who are the strongest have now shown us who they are, and they're on their way to DC. I'm guessing they're going to enter DC as long as the roads aren't blocked and more. Again, I worked all day. I, was asked to, hey, can you help me out if I stream? So I'm hoping that we get at least some videos streamed in. So anyway, let me see who's on and about here right now. Cognitive dissonance. I'm seeing a lot of fresh messages. It seems like a lot of people are probably getting tired of all the disruption in America, to be perfectly honest with you. Yeah, it's like you got to give everybody a heads up. My doctor just called me and told me to go ahead. I don't know what that means. So I'm talking to someone here on Messenger. Take a pain pill every 2 hours. Wow. I want to be in your head in 2 hours. No, I'm just joking. I get sick from pain medication, so I don't bother with that stuff. Well, best of luck to you. I want you to feel better. Again, I'm hoping that we get a couple of the patriots on here that are out there at these, right now they're like big rallies, where the trucks are settled in for the night and they're, partying, hanging out with each other, conversating, making plans as to how tomorrow they will proceed forward with everything. There's some things in the news, though, that we can go over, I guess you could say. We have 3 states, Tennessee, Mississippi, and Arkansas, leaders favoring a new eminent domain law to be used. They're really backing this. I mean, what is America? We're just falling, take lands from people. That's what that means. At fair value, whatever they would think that is. And they can determine that. You can't even question it. What are these states thinking? Truthfully, this is the land of the free. This land belongs to people, yet you have a different type of party out there who just would allow eminent domain of lands. These are just a few little things going on out there. So let me see if I can get Ray, let him know that open and ready to go if he's got some live feeds to start sending. This is just a live chat tonight. Nothing in particular. If anybody comes on, they want to bring something up, they can do it. Right now, it's a dead zone. Zip in the room. Zip. I never get zip. Where's everybody at? It's fine. It's fine. Oh, don't worry about doing that, Beth. It's all good. It's all good. We're not going to worry about pulling people in like that. It's about support. If people are aware, they're going to come in, and it's not going to be an issue to them. If it's an issue to them, then they're having some type of patriotic problem. And it's not me. I know that. I speak freely. If you don't like it, I get it. I'm not going to be perfect to everyone all the time. Okay, so Michael Anthony went up on America Disclosing, and following that, Congresswoman Marjorie Greene, Facebook. Let's see what she has to say for the hell of it. It won't even give me volume.
Legislative staff, and we're discussing the omnibus bill. So I thought I'd go ahead and do this live for you guys so we can try to inform you what your money will be spent on. Now, here's what's happening.
What money?
We go into session today here in DC, and we were supposed to receive the text for the 1.5 trillion with a T omnibus bill that the Democrats are releasing. That was supposed to be released at 4:00 today. Well, they have changed
We're already
their mind.
in debt 33 trillion.
They changed it to 4 a.m. tomorrow. That's Tuesday, 4 a.m. is when they're going to be releasing we have no idea how many pages, thousands of pages of the $1.5 trillion omnibus bill that is supposed to fund the government and prevent this big shutdown. So we're going to talk about what we do know is going to be in the bill because we feel it's important for you to know. You're the taxpayers, and this is your money, and this is how the
our
government
burden,
is
is
spending
what
it.
she's saying.
So just to give you a little bit of understanding, the $1.5 trillion omnibus bill that was supposed to be released by the Democrats, or at least the text of it, was supposed to be released at 4 p.m. today, but now has suddenly been changed to 4 a.m. tomorrow, which is really odd, 4 a.m. to release the text of a bill. All of this is going to come out, and then we only have one day before we vote on it. So this is how the government works, ladies and gentlemen. Or actually, let me just say this is how the government does not work.
12 hours.
So this $1.5 trillion omnibus bill, spending bill to keep the government running, will give us, and I'm going to make sure I'm right. How long do I have, guys? Do we have to read it? And 24 hours. Okay, so we get about one day, roughly 24 hours. To read through these thousands of pages for the $1.5 trillion omnibus bill released at 4 a.m. Thanks so much, Nancy Pelosi. Way to be so efficient and govern our Congress. It's absolutely disturbing and pathetic. So
yeah, it is. Yeah, it is. Just trillions more to go in debt, and we'll be responsible for it, of course. Of course we will. Of course we will. Let me head into the truckers thing. We have a page on Messenger that we use. It's called Information Convoy. We're going to go into there right now and see what we got here. This is something from earlier. We'll listen into it. If it will allow
Tell
me.
us what's happening over the next 4 or 5 days, whether we're staying here or... I got you. All right.
We'll get there. So, guys, I tell you, we've been working tirelessly on this. Kids have been working tirelessly. All of you guys have been driving out the ass to make this happen.
Hey, Williams here with the...
oh yeah!
How many of you guys saw people over this overpass? They're women and children in the freezing rain. What a responsibility they have handed us.
This is the American Truckers Freedom Convoy, the 2022, of course. And they're just meeting, reflecting.
Listen to this man. Listen to what he's telling you. This is a chess move and a chessboard. Every move we make, you may not understand. He's got more information than us. We have to trust each other's hearts, and we all know the responsibility on our shoulders right now. Okay?
Nobody told me it was an optics thing, or I wouldn't have worn my camera.
I do not want to select a pawn.
Testing, 1, 2, 3.
Here's the thing. I'll be a pawn. I don't care.
I'll be a pawn.
That responsibility's on us. I'll be all. I don't care.
I'll be a pawn. Let's do it again.
I got you, man. Now just hold it.
Do we need to give it
Oh, I feel like I'm okay. Cool. That works a lot better. I don't have to kill my voice.
Right.
All right, and you're right. Here's the thing, guys. Ultimately, this isn't about us. This isn't about the trucks. The trucks are the symbol. This is about the people.
Yep.
Now, with this plan, DC is watching us because they can see us. What they don't see is they see every person going to their capital. Because as of right now, what time is it? Anybody got a time? 9:20. Hey, here. That makes it about 6:22. Here in a couple hours, every single. Oh, that's not good. Put your back to the wind. That works. Okay. So. I know I really hate not being able to see everybody behind me. It's really odd. Oh, there we go. Appreciate it. All right. So, I know we don't want to be seen as a pawn, guys, but if we truly trust that we are not the ones who are the most important ones here, we kind of are. And I say that not in a bad way. I say that in a way to where on a chessboard, everybody thinks we're the queen. They think we're the most important piece. When in reality, DC's messing up with that. Because we aren't. We may be the face, we may be the symbol, but I promise you, every person in every single state, those are our queens. Those are our important pieces. Because let's be honest here, guys. If we get a law change, what's that going to do? Let's be honest.
It changes the issue.
Guys, I'm serious. What can they do? We've seen it time and time again where they can veto it, switch it, change it. Worse, switch it and morph it to where we wanted this law. They gave us this law and added this, and this. And then blame it on us for wanting this law.
Right.
They would twist it. The only real way to fix this is to get an amendment.
You're here.
Now, to do that, we need states. To get states, we need people. We need their support. And that's why I say that we're not the queens of this board. Because to make this work, we need time. Can you guys give me that time?
Somewhat.
True enough. What I need you guys to not do is touch that beltway. Because if we touch that beltway, if one, I'm throwing things. Okay.
Clicking on your belt.
I'm too lazy for that. Guys, I'm a Ranger driver right now, you know. So if we touch the beltway, everything from Fresno to Spokane to DC is gone. We need to do this the right, peaceful, legal way. Because if we don't, and they can pin this any other way besides the way we need this narrative to go,
Like January 6th.
Exactly.
they will switch it. And if they do that, and we lose that support because they do that, because we all know people blind follow.
Yep.
They don't investigate, they don't look. And going on that beltway will not help this movement. Going on that beltway is going to hurt it. And we cannot afford that right now. We have more support, more people in places, more trucks than we have ever had to make this happen. So if we touch it, we lose all of it. And I need you guys to trust that. Appreciate it. Can you guys?
All right, so what I'm listening to here is just part of the American convoy that was speaking earlier today, and they were having a meeting. I just wanted to have a little live chat tonight for everybody, see what everybody was thinking about, also keeping it open for I have a few people out there who want to do some live streams, and they asked me if I'd keep like an open plug tonight. So I'm just killing some time to help America out and support the patriots and the truckers and all the mama bears that are out there with them, to try to see if we can help them while they do some interviews and give us some live feed. So working with Patriot Lab, William Ray, and a couple other fellows who are out and about in different areas and sectors, waiting on arrivals of more trucks. So it seems like the trucks are going to keep gathering and congregating in different areas and whatnot. This is just basically a live chat. If anything's in your mind, anything's on your head, bring it up. It's all good. Just waiting to see, as I promised, if I give my word to somebody, I don't mind sitting here. It's a good thing, you know. I didn't plan to come on tonight and really talk about this, that, or the other, but to show some strength back to the truckers. The last few times I've been on, it's been a lot about Ukraine, and some reports that have been coming out of Ukraine is the Ukrainian military actually were shooting citizens of Ukraine who were trying to flee into Russia. True story. True story. You're not going to catch that on the media, on the news, on any of the major news outlets, but we do have people that are giving us information and feeding us a little more than what you might expect. All right. So in the meantime, here, as I'm waiting for some of these feeds, and I'm hoping they're out and about, getting themselves set up right now, so we can kill an hour with some of this. I'm going to go back to something else real quick and see if I can get on it for you guys. I want to play you something that's really interesting. I'm not sure exactly where I have it, but I'm going to look for it. This came directly out of Ukraine, Russia, pertaining to Ukraine. And it was a live feed message that was sent to some of our pages today. And I'll have to find it. I thought I knew where it was. Let me see here. I'll find it. Hopefully nobody removed it on us. Interesting. I don't know. Maybe Messenger removed it on me. I know it was in there. I put it there. All right, here we go. Here's one. All right. I don't know. It's just amazing. Some of them are removed and they shouldn't be.
The 4th of March, with an update of the Russian-Ukrainian conflict. In the south area, everything is stable. The Russians are not experiencing any casualties. There are no 200s. 200 is the word for killed. 300 is the word for wounded in Russian. Practically everything is being cleaned out. Today, the advance on Odessa begins. Troops are moving in with Rosgvardia troops, which is Russian Guard troops. There's about 1,500 Chechen troops with them, and they're waiting for another 2,000 to come up. Everyone on the Russian side is extremely happy, and the morale is very high that they are fighting for Russia. The Nazis are being liquidated straight away. The Marines...
He's talking about the Biden administration in France.
The villages, the towns, and then the Russian National Guard, Rosgvardia, comes in with the Chechens. Chechens are fighting well, defending. We are receiving many prisoners. Prison trucks are going day and night back and forth from the line, collecting Ukrainian prisoners from the Ukrainian army. Those who are surrendering are loaded into buses and taken out. After the war, they'll be taken out of the front line and back to Russian-held territory. After the war, they'll be released. Those who are captured during battle will be put in front of military tribunals. Nazis are not taken prisoners. All of them are 200s. Fresh information. Kharkov is taken. In Kiev, the Chechens are doing a cleanup operation. They've opened a corridor so civilians can leave to the west along the highway. In the Donbass area, a massive group, an army group of the Ukrainian army, is been completely surrounded. The Russians have given them 5 hours to make the decision to surrender. The Russians have already brought in TOS-1 and TOS-1A Solntsepyok. This is a type of fire artillery, new Russian weapon. It's a new Russian long-range artillery, which allows the Russians to burn out whole hectares of land at a distance of 15 kilometers. In 5 hours, those who have not given up will be liquidated. Tank columns are moving to the west. They are not stopping next to the big cities or towns. As they go, they've discovered 2 massive military bases which were built by NATO, by the Americans. They spent the last 8 years building them. Lots of Ukrainian soldiers died defending them. Foreign sources, foreign press are hiding the truth. They're not talking about this. Not one not one military column with military supplies, ammunition, or equipment from Poland cannot enter. As soon as it enters 500 to 3 kilometers, this straight away is destroyed. The resolve of the Russian troops is very serious. They are the morale is very high. The whole of the air corridor, the airspace above Ukraine is closed and completely controlled by the Russians. The Russian forces have destroyed 13 laboratories, biological laboratories, around the whole of Ukraine. Some of them were underground. Some of them, they had to use several explosions to annihilate them completely. Vladimir Putin has information.
Remember, you're not going to hear
That
this
the
on
West-
media.
That the Western Institute for Health from the Western Institute for Health from the United States of America and the French Institute of Health and the German Center for research into infections have invested billions of dollars into Ukraine to make and research new biological weapons. And now they've given this in the form of grants. Vladimir Putin, has announced that he has evidence, which he will very soon. He will publish this evidence so everyone can see it. His exact quote is, "When the world is ready to listen to him, that's when he'll publish it." In the words of Putin, Zelensky knew about the laboratories, the biological weapons laboratories, and received kickbacks, received bribes in exchange for him being able to work in secret and for these labs to be able to work in secret and without official supervision or proper checks. Vladimir Putin has said that he warned Zelensky many times about these laboratories and demanded they be dismantled. In February of 2020, he warned him that that Putin will dismantle them himself if Zelensky will not agree to dismantling them. Putin has said that Zelensky is to blame. And he put the Ukrainian people in great danger. Our sources indicate. Putin also talked about Israel. He said that the Ministry for Health of Israel and Mossad had also we're also operating a bio-laboratory on the island of Zmyny. That's the island in the Black Sea, which was captured recently by the Russians, not far from the Delta Dunaj, not far from east of the Romanian border in the Black Sea. And the biolaboratories on this island, on the island of Zmyny, they also call it, it's also known in the West as Snake Island. These biolaboratories were involved in making a military-grade biological weapon. According to Putin, if it was to be released, it could destroy the population of the Earth with a 100% death rate. Vladimir Putin
Wow.
has reassured that he has reassured everyone that he has taken very strict measures to guarantee that all the pathogens, all the biological and dangerous products will be destroyed effectively to make them not dangerous for people. Now, he also added that he didn't confirm whether he used thermobaric munitions, but the source indicates that it was almost certain that they did. The Russians are not damaging cities.
This is
They're trying
everything.
not to damage any buildings.
This is everything we've heard.
and keep
Ukraine's doing
electricity
it
on.
themselves.
And also keeping the water going. They're trying to keep the cities intact. And now we know what Putin is doing in the Ukraine. He is saving mankind, literally. Guys, this is first-hand information from the front line. It's just come out. Today is the 4th of March. This podcast has been made in Australia. We've got direct sources from the front line. Please share this podcast, share the truth. Those of you who have already realized what Putin was actually doing in Ukraine, dismantling these biolaboratories and fighting the cabal and fighting the deep state, the establishment. Many of you already have realized. Send this information out. Subscribe to the Telegram channel, Aussie Cossack, for more. Telegram, Aussie Cossack.
Ozzy will be sending us more, I guarantee you.
Well done to the peacemakers.
Ozzy will be
The
sending us more.
peacekeepers, as they call them, the Russian peacekeepers who are liberating Russian territory. This news is hot. It's just been announced. We've just discovered this. Spread the word. All the best.
So we're getting things firsthand from people who are getting intel. You're not going to hear this in any way on being reported by media. But what this all means is Ukraine itself is creating a shit show, a storm for us to be manipulated. That the Russians are actually over there destroying. No, they will defend themselves and destroy if necessary. It is a war, and it's a wage war. But again, they never stop when it comes to manipulation. It just seems to always be there. Here's another indication and some information that was sent.
So I just got off the phone with my cousin in the Ukraine, and
You're not going to get this anywhere, I
his
promise.
brother lives in Kiev, and his brother's gone out from Kiev about 100 k's out to a village that they've got family in. He's staying there, and he said what I'm saying is true. The Ukrainian government are bombing their own people, killing their own people to make the West think it was Russia killing civilians. Russia is not killing civilians, and the Ukrainian president is a dictator, and they don't like him. But 3/4 of the Ukrainian citizens are falling for this crap and believing that Russia are bombing civilian targets. He has run family in Russia who have family in the military, and they were under strict instructions from Vladimir Putin. You are not to attack or harm any civilians or civilian buildings. So that's all I needed. I didn't need the proof, but I wanted to speak to somebody living there. And that's what it is, the truth. Russia is trying to expose the truth about the globalists. Even he believes it. He believes that the Russian army aren't fighting the Ukrainian army. They're fighting the Rockefellers and the Rothschilds and people like that. And he said to me that there's reports of people trying to cross the border into Russia are being shot in the back by Ukrainians. And they're saying it was Russians shooting them coming out the border. Russians would not shoot an innocent Ukrainian crossing the border. They have relations in both countries. So the whole thing is the scam I said it was.
Yes, you did. So just some things, that we've talked about the last couple days, last couple shows that I wanted to bring up to everybody. All right. So I just heard from William. He's having a little bit of technical difficulty right now. He's going to see if he can get that corrected, and we're going to do some live truck streaming right in real time, right now, in this very moment, on this Monday evening, about getting some truckers to come, give us some information, general information of where things are. So we're going to live stream it. I'll make sure it clicks up on the board for you guys. But some of this information about Ukraine and Russia, it's very important because we're not going to hear this from any news source. And I would even think Newsmax probably wouldn't give us all that these guys just have given us. So there is people that are related to people. It's coming back. It's starting to open up a can of lies. And look, all lives are important here. But for a country to shoot their own people in the back, that is the worst case scenario that anybody would ever want to hear about. There's a GoFundMe page out there that Ashton Kutcher and Mila has put together. She's Ukrainian, as everybody knows. They did the first 3 million as a match on GoFundMe, and it went immediately to like 9.5 million plus, and now it's even larger than that. I didn't get to check the data on today because I worked rather late and then had something to eat and came on. And as I said, I'm waiting for the Patriots Lab to start streaming through me, and hopefully we'll be able to get to that. That was one of the most important facts for tonight. I'm going to go right now to the page in case anybody wants to bring up anything. We can kind of have a conversation together while we're waiting to see if we're going to be able to do it. We are controlled. As far as what I do, I'm controlled in ways. It's like they really do have a watchful eye, the all-seeing eye over me. I cannot always do everything, but I'm prepared to bring anybody through that I can. So for now, we still shared some valuable information for tonight, and more. And let's hope that more keeps coming right now. So I don't know if anybody heard on this, but there's a lot of information starting to fall from the sky pertaining to what's in these this mysterious medication, and it's not good. It's not good, and it will give a lot of people validation that had a hunch on what exactly we were all dealing with. So, all right. So I'm just getting back to my live now. Rich Lopez has stopped through. The Russians are fighting groups of Nazis. Yes, well, you could call them that, sure. No doubt about it. That's 100% correct in total informational war. Yeah, I mean, it is. It is. And again, we can only do the best we can to get the best information. And I tell everybody, if you want the best information, you're not going to find it really always in the groups. Go to your messenger service board and look up Patriots. When you look up Patriots, there's going to be a shitload of groups that are going to come up. Get yourself involved there. Get yourself involved there. They're fly the Nazi flag. They're flying the Nazi flag. Who's that, Richard? We talking about the United Nations or what? I don't know. I don't know what he's referring to there, but it just says they're fly the Nazi flag. So I'm assuming maybe it's Biden. Maybe maybe he went over and put it up. I was to be honest with you though. I knew that we had some type of military base there. I didn't know it was 2 of them that we spent the last 8 years funding and building. So imagine, look at the tax revenue and the place that they put us in. That's why I called a tax slavery system. We are slaves in a tax system. And that's true. Look where the money goes. It never benefits the true misjustices or needs for the American people. It just doesn't happen. It does not happen. It's mind-blowing. So again, just waiting on to see if we can get oh, hey, Denise Olson, how are you? She stopped through. And Max Smith stopped in. He's watching. You might have missed some of the really good information from Australia and another brother in Russia. I had a few things formatted up that I played for everybody. These were not videos, by the way. These were just information feeds, like when you hit your speak on your phone and you're sending it out, outsourcing it to another party. This is how I got the information. So as far as Ukraine, it's a nightmare, but at least Putin has put himself in a place and position uh, in this war, because it's nothing less than that. Um, he's put himself in a great spot. He really has, and I don't think they saw that coming. I've seen the Ukrainians fighting. Groups flying the Nazi flag with the UN flag. Okay. Well, I mean, hey, it must be part of the breakaways that we always knew. The Germans had that breakaway kind of scenario that went on and went on. I don't know. It's mind blowing. It's mind blowing. All right, let me see if I can get back to William Ray, because I got him scanned in. I got him a link sent. I'm just waiting to see if we're going to be able to touch base together tonight here, because I was really hoping that we got some first hand real information from the truckers as he would interview them. And I'm not seeing him online right in this moment. But you do the best you can. If you're asked to do it, I'm more than happy. If it supports the Patriots of the United States, I want to do all I can. If it supports another platform because they are not reaching enough, I'm going to give my platform to them. I'm going to try to push the best message that I can and their information through our soundboards out to you guys. So let's give him a few more minutes to see if this is going to happen. I'm hoping it really does, because I know everybody would love to see a bunch of good people out there getting more information on what's really going on at the rally. Now, I will say this, okay? And I'm not trying to say this in the wrong way. Strategy is everything. The less said, the better. When it comes to a plan. But I know we have a lot of anger out there in the convoy. And there's like a two-sided narrative here. There's some that are just angry, and then there's a lot of people, and they're all good. It's the place that we're in, and some just carry more anger than others. But there's a plan, and they have a method to their system that they're trying to put together. It's said that there may be some meetings of the mind with some politicians about this, about the demands being met. Some of these stop this, stop that, stop this, stop that scenario of all the narratives that we want our country back. And that's how they're going to first address it. But I do know that we do have a two-sided party there. We have some people in the convoy who are just very angry with the United States right now. And I think everybody is. Everybody reaches those boiling points. And they went there psyched up. They went there psyched up, ready to go. I don't know how things are going to go. I don't know what the exact narrative will be created. I don't know what the strategy will be. I really don't. I get what everybody else is getting right now. Things that I can repost under information convoy that we have on our Patriot page. So you can, join that, look at it, and review everything that has happened since day one. And these guys have been on the road for days. I got a message from one guy. He said he had over 1,900 miles put on his truck to get to the point where he is. But they want the truckers to stay off the Beltway. They want to stay in the backdrop while more are arriving. So again, I know William Ray's out there, and I'm shouting out to Terry Anderson, Terry the Terror from Patriots at Large. Also has a broadcast that he does, a platform broadcast to bring news and specifics about the Texas border and more. But here we are. So that's what tonight was about. Open chat, ideas, thoughts. What's on your mind tonight? Good evening, Michael from Gary. Hey, Gary, my man, what's going on, brother? Another military man. I salute you and thank you for your services. I know you're seeing through all this, Gary. I know you are. You're military inside and out. I was on with Bill Muckler last night or the night before. I don't even know what night it was. Was it yesterday? I'm not even sure. God, I've been so busy. And I'm trying to keep up with everything. I really am. I will be loud and proud Wednesday, Friday, and Sunday this upcoming week. Tonight was just like, a Spitfire moment. Some people asking for support to use my platform, and here I am waiting for them to get us this information. So I was hoping for Brother Ray to get on here with me and give me some informative information, even if he could just get out there and do some video detailing of what it looks like. I know where he's at up at the Speedway. He was claiming that they were not claiming, just stating a fact that they were having a lot of bad weather. We had bad weather this afternoon too. I'm in a building while I'm doing this building. I mean, right in front of my eyes, no joke. I mean, they were talking about really, really heavy winds. I just did some replacement stuff on the side of this building, and I said, I'll do more to it. It's not going to be crazy. Well, the siding blew off. I was like, you got to be kidding me. And then the cable wire blows off. Then I watch a tree fall down. And I'm like, and this is in real time today. This is part of my day. So I didn't get out of there like 7 o'clock, and I had to clean up and get everything prepped to go back up. I mean, nothing was damaged. I guess I could turn it in for an insurance claim and just let somebody else do it. But with my luck, nobody would pay for it. All right, so I'm getting a live message feed right now. Tell you about Russia-Ukraine conflict. Is this a live feed? Let me see here if it goes through live. Get some more information here. Okay. Yeah, they do have a Nazi flag there. Yeah, so a friend of ours, Rich Lopez, he belongs to a lot of our groups. He comes on the show every once in a while too. He reaches out to a lot of people globally. He really does. He's very active with information and trying to bring forth the best. And don't think for a minute that we're not simmering on that DEF CON issue. It's a worry. It's in place. There's things going on. But yeah, there you have it. I don't know if you could Photoshop that. It looks kind of impossible. I wish I could show it to you. I don't try to run this computer to that computer. You need someone else to sit there and punch all the stuff in to get, things to come on and download them ahead of time. I just don't have enough time to do that. But to come out and talk and, create narrative and everything, I'm good with that. Well, I see William Ray's on, but I'm not getting anything yet. Hey, Ray, I'm on live right now. I'm talking to you live throughout America. How about you come on with me for a few minutes? Click that stream thing. You can give us some more information or shoot us some photos, and I can stream them out for you, brother. Okay, so I did that right in front of you guys. Hopefully he'll get that and respond back to it. Yeah, and we'll wait for that to happen. So one of the things I did catch this morning is the types of things that's going on in the water surrounding Mexico towards the Texas panhandle, the border. They found 300 people being smuggled in, caught in the act. So here we are, with this open border system. I mean, they're calling us Ukraine, like the second Texas, because they didn't have a border wall either. You can take that for what you want. The FBI is recruiting women now for the purpose of spying and engaging for special agents and using them for their beauty. How do you like that? Check this out. I've been talking a lot about bios and all these different things. This came out in 2021, and I just thought about it the other day, and I, made a note to it, and I've forgotten where the hell I even put it. Excuse me. But it's something called biosludge. Now, this has nothing to do with the parts of the facts that we're now seeing: biofoods, bio labs, biodemics, biospraying. It's the all new bio norm. I mean, but check this out. They're trying to substitute fertilizers now in the United States by liquefying the remains of bodies. It's not a joke. And the purpose of the liquefying the bodies is to use it for fertilizer for crops. I'm sorry. I don't want to eat nothing like that. I just don't want to. How do you control this? This is like so fucking bizarre, isn't it? I mean, really. Hold on one second, people. Here, I got a big message thing coming through, and if I don't go back here and like reset it, they're not letting me read my own chatter box, my own chat room. And that's just like, blows my mind. Gary, okay. I heard an audio clip where a man talked to a friend of his who lived in Ukraine from the guy in Ukraine. Yeah, I played that. Killing their own people. It's true. Yeah, you're absolutely correct. I'm the one that posted that. We know a lot of people out there. Please send the link again. All right. I guess I'll have to try to do that. Gonna have to do something here. Everybody hold on one quick second, okay? Oh. Let me see here. Give me 1 second. I've gone nowhere. All right, please stand by. We're going to be bringing a feed through. This is like I told you. You need like a second person sometimes to do these things. All right, where am I? Where am I? I'm getting there, people. Promise. All right, so we sent that out. Start cam. All right, we're back. Okay. Doing the best I can here because, yeah, we were talking about a couple of the reports. Also, I wanted to say to you, Gary, there's a couple other things out there, and if you want, I'll send them to you. These are different people making comments and commentary as far as all the information that's coming back to them in Australia, Romania, and more. So we're hearing things even into the Black Sea of what's going on with all this. Okay, so hopefully we'll have my Patriot brother, William Ray, be coming on with us shortly here. I sent him the link, and hopefully in a few minutes. The guy said the Ukrainians said that Putin told his troops, do not shoot any civilians. That's correct. That's correct. That's correct. The problem is, what we're seeing from what I'm being told from more than, honestly, probably 10 people at this point. That's how I've been getting information that I can actually deal with. Also from somebody who's, I can't get into it. Really good intel. I'll just say that. That's kind of what I talked about the last couple of days. I gave as much as I could out there off the top of my head in this moment. I can't really, give that out because I can't even think straight. I'm just tired. I'm hearing the same things, but we are where we are in this narrative. And again, we're still waiting for William Ray to come in so we can get some updates on what's going on with the convoy and more. I'm expecting him to click through any moment because I did send him the link. And then we have extreme consequences unless drill for oil now. Yeah, I mean the truth is on the oil scenario. I mean, look at that. We're sitting on top of it. We're sitting on top of it. But again, this is the government. This is that far left. These far left extremists that have sold themselves out to to bed with Satan, and that's exactly what it is. This whole different agenda, whatever the hell it is that they have planned for humanity, and it's too far. It's too far. But we still are a civilization, and we have needs for things. People must work. People have to get. They need their own employees to be able to travel. But I assure you, when it comes to that, a private tanker truck will be put somewhere. They'll figure out something for their own. They always will. We're not part of their own. That's the issue with it's, that we're undergoing in America. Are you talking about the black guy, Ray? Yeah. Okay. Nothing back from Ray yet. And he's not up on the board. I apologize, guys. I'm trying to bring in anything I can at this point. I didn't hear back from Terry Anderson yet. Reaching out to everybody I could and letting them know the platform's open for all of us. We just want to know, right? We want to know what's going on. So anyway, I'm sending out a couple other messages here. I'm just trying to keep a focus, to keep this on some type of pattern and of information, path of information, I should say. So I told you about this bio sludge. That's the most bizarre thing one could ever think about or dream about. Did anybody see where Como's trying to make a comeback? And guess what? He's hitting back at them. He truly is. Yeah, ex-Governor Como, Como the Homo, attacks back and says he was just a hit. He was the hit man for them in all this and all their actions. And he was attacking the cancel cultures and more. So, you have those kind of things to deal with. I don't know what his true narrative is, or I'm sure he's thinking something and it must be comeback. He just feels like he was been picked on. Maybe he was. I don't know. What do we know? I can only identify his actions of the crimes of humanity, and he'll pay for that someday. So no matter how he comes back, Oh, interesting. I'm getting a little interesting information, but it's not about that. Something about J6. Yeah, I guess everybody's trying to balance out here with the truckers. How safe are they up there? I get that. I truly do get that. Hey, not every show's going to be a good one. I apologize for that part. I truly do. You can only do the best you can. So we got people sharing the video. That means we got people that want to see. Raymond, where are you, brother? I know you're listening to me. I know you're out there, William Ray. I shouldn't have called you Raymond. I apologize for that part. But nevertheless, get us some live footage. Come on, man. Let's put it up on the screen. Get it in here to me right away. Come on. We got impatience here. America has impatience, and not the flowers. We're just running a lack of patience. That's the truth of the matter, what it is. I think part of the fear that did occur with the truckers was there were some false narratives out there that anybody that was caught on the beltways were going to be. It said the stream ended. Okay. All right. I don't know what the problem is. No, Ray, the stream didn't end. It's sitting here right now live. I don't know what to tell you. Okay, we gave it a fair shot. I was there for you, brother. I was there for you. All right, looks like that's not going to work. They're either blocking Ray from coming onto the platform. So that's not going to work out. So I tell you what, how about some good conversation for a few minutes between all of us? How many trucks do you think are there? I don't even have that information, to be honest with you. I can tell you this, though. We know factually, legally licensed and ran trucks is 2.7 million trucks in the United States. We know that there's nowhere near that headed towards D.C. The numbers, yeah. I mean, you could line the trucks up across America, I think, with that many. I don't know. I actually don't know. It seems to be pretty positive. And again, I tell everybody to go on to Information Convoy on Messenger. If you look it up, there's a lot of good information out there. I was trying to bring it to you a different way tonight. It's not going to go. Okay. One is unresponsive that I thought would have been. And William Ray's telling me that he keeps getting a dead spot, even though I just sent him a fresh link. Every time you send out a fresh link, it gives 15 minutes for someone to use it. So I know it was sent to him. The only thing I could figure out is I'm not allowed to be sharing. I don't know where he's under some type of possibly restriction. If you're under some type of restriction, I don't know. There's so many different narratives for what they use there. Maybe that's just their way of saying you can't go online. So we did our best for tonight. We really did as far as that. And I wasn't prepared to come on. I got hit up by a couple of people, said, hey, why don't you share us on your platform? We want to get the word out. And that's why I set up to come on here for a while to hang out with you guys. But it's no worry. It's just a matter of time. Time's free to me, so I'm always happy to do that. Victoria White did shows him years ago. Victoria White. I'm not sure what that means in this moment. I have to think about it. I really am kind of like mind weary, so please forgive me on that. They were showing the convoy, and it's said to be 50 miles long. Thank you for that, Gary. And you could be absolutely correct on it. I don't know how they're basing that though, because there's so many trucks separated in so many different areas. I don't think they ever been together. I'm just saying that's how I got it so far. We've seen no direct connection, train action, like where they are back to back to back to back to back. But it could be 50 miles long. I'm not going to say that that's not true. And there's more coming. So that's being talked about. I don't know all the truth behind all these things. And again, yes, I'm hearing anger from some of the truckers. I heard it on live videos today that there's just some people there that are, and we have to be real careful about that. We really do. Again, I'm all for what you guys need to do, what you guys are up for. Hey, Heather Hampsey, how are you? I got to say hi to an old friend there. My sister-in-law's sister, Heather, great girl out of Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. Thanks for stopping by. So yeah, we talk about all these issues that are going on. I gave you some really good information on the Ukraine from insiders who could give us information, who were talking to family and more. And some people were talking to military strategists and other things, but they are being posted all over our pages. So please check those out. I have a lot of Patriot messenger groups out there, and they're not really just look. They're yours. They're not about. It's not about me. What's out there that I made? It's out there. They're yours. They're not really about me. The strength is in numbers. So always remember to keep that value point. That is where we can make a difference. That is truly where we can make a difference, and we can pick up our flag and put the stars and straight back on and stand it up, because every day it's Old Glory they don't call it Old Glory for nothing. It does go into that fade process, and it's shameful. We need to do something to make it better. And these truckers are trying to do what they can. I can't comment on strategy. I don't know what they're thinking. I know they're probably looking into all avenues, especially when they had a lot of things that they could look at that happened and occurred in Canada through Trudeau and massive convoy that went on there, people standing up for freedoms and to kill the mandates. And I'm sure that we're probably looking at the same type of issues and so forth. And isn't it something, just as the truckers really start to fire up their engines and travel, 2,000 miles across the country ish and more, the mandates are slowly easing up, and mysteriously COVID's kind of 90% over. They said 90% over. So I mean, I know there's principles for why they're there, and I know that there's some meetings set up. I don't know how they're going to go, don't know how well they're going to go, but I know that they're meeting with Congress people and trying to meet with senators to get their word out, to get their message stronger. But remember, and I say this with truth, stand hard, stand long, stand strong, because you know what? Our own leadership, got people in government and leadership, can't get nowhere and under this entire agenda of what we're dealing with. I mean, they're having the hardest time of their life. They really are. Gary says, let me see here. They took a plane up with a camera crew. Okay. Gary, I've seen several things out there come back on feeds. I also watched something on Real News this morning, and they showed something very similar to that. But I think even they're being manipulated because what we are seeing now is some of the morning news format programs sending their pretty boys and so forth right into the front line of the Ukrainian war. Now, why would they place these people over there if it was so bad? They wouldn't. These guys would have. These guys were right in the heat of things this morning, which tells me, we're being fed false narratives. I'm sure the force of Putin's army has already had its effects and successes, but they don't want to admit it to the American people. They don't want to admit it to any other country in the world because it would make them look even weaker than they are. And they are weak. I mean, Putin really took them by storm unexpectedly. He truly did. So anyway, guys, look, it doesn't look like that the source of the information is going to come through. You have my sincerest apologies. I tried everything I could for the Patriot Lab to come through because he's on the road. He's right there in the rally right now. And I don't know why he can't get through. It just doesn't make sense to me. So we tried our best, and I want to thank you and thank you for your support. I'll be on through the week. If anything major happens, I will step back to sit down to try to come on because I know it brings us together. It doesn't always solve anything, but in a way, the research and the news and the information gives us a better understanding. Here's what I like to reflect to everybody tonight, though, before I go off air, is that you stay strong within your own belief. Question everything, question everyone, and rethink it. Draw your own conclusions, find your own information, do your own research, and beware of the false news. It's trapped within everything we look at. When you learn how to get through it, you'll know how to understand it better. William sent me a voice message. Okay. It says I'm backstage. Nope. It doesn't. All right. So now he's trying to get through. I don't understand, brother. I'm right here and you're not showing up in the green room. Because honestly, dude, I'll let you right in. You know it. You see me. Where are you? Why are you not coming through? Hold up. Something just flashed in. Right. Come and through. Why won't it let me do it? There we go. Let's see if it works. Maybe we'll get some live feed here. Okay, Ray. Okay. Okay, Ray. Okay. It's acting like a really bad feed right now. Let me see if I can do this. If I could put Ray up himself. No. All right. Let me try it this way. Mm-hmm. All right, I'm not trying to look pretty for any formats. All right, so Ray sees me. All right, Ray, I'm talking to you through Messenger right now. I'm just getting a spin. I don't know if you're having bad reception where you are. Try to move. Try to see if you can get yourself moved. Oh, man, I would really like to get some information out there for you guys. I truly would. I'm trying my damnedest and not having a good way to do it. There's no way I can reset it. Ray, see if you can step out and step back in. There he goes. Okay. We're going to try this one more time, everybody. Just as I was going to go off. If you need, I will come in. All right, let me see. We're going to do a little test here. I'm going to try another feed source. Yeah, he must be having a terrible feed. All right, Ray. Okay, I'm not getting anything through my headset either. It's just like he's unable to get in. I'm going to try something else. All right. So I sent an invite a different way. I just want to know if it's me, if it's Facebook. Then we'll understand it if it's those guys. So if nobody can get in, then I know it's them. Beth's watching. Hey, Beth, how are you? DC is a bad spot to get video signals. And not only that, I was told actually that like AT&T was really messing with people today. Can I call them just on the phone? Okay. All right. So we're going to try a different way here. We're going to try a different way. Stay right where you are, everybody. Let me see if I can make something else work here. And there we go, that way. All right, Richard.
Hey, how you doing, Michael?
Oh, man, I'm tired today. I'm tired. I'm trying to bring through. Everybody that's up here has no feed.
Yeah, you know what? DC can be a really hard area to get live feed. There's a bunch of, there's different streamers on YouTube, but you can see they do get difficulties over there. There's so much electronics and shit going on over there, probably. I don't know. Big brother.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
Well, I can.
And so you know, and so you know, I will talk to you about that topic that you brought up. I was totally unaware of that, and I've always been a supporter for everybody. But thanks for the heads up. We will talk about that.
We'll talk about that in the green room or something. But I can give some insight on Ukraine if you'd like to hear. I don't have much information on the trucker freedom run.
No, go ahead. Run with it. Run with it. Anything's news at this point. I mean, you know, you hate to see an evening become a total wash.
Right.
All right, start it off, and I'll start it off, and I'll step back in. Give me 1 minute to step back in. Go ahead, brother.
Sure. So what I did hear, and this blew my mind, that we have had 2,000 volunteers go over there to fight with Ukrainians, and that's just not United States. That's other countries too. But these are all volunteers. So the embassy. The Ukrainian embassy will issue you a temporary passport to go over there to fight with them. Okay, so we all kind of know that, right? What has happened is we're seeing a bunch of. There's been some crazy blue-haired looking liberal people over there, and I've seen pictures of them. Okay, CNN's been posting pictures of them. Now, what's happened is. They're telling them, well, and there's a word for it. I'm not using the correct word, so I'm going to use the word ping. They tell us, well, ping where you're at so that we can verify you're with these resistance groups in Ukraine. So the some of the volunteers, the purple hairs, blue hair, all this weird stuff, start pinging. Well, you know what? That's pretty much public information. Anybody can get an idea where you're at if you start pinging it, right? So the Russians have basically used that, and they just bombed the whole entire grid. Well, they've done it like 3 times. CNN has basically gave it up to ask these people to ping and just destroyed them. Now, 3 of the spots that this happened at were schools. And they're on the media over there, oh my God, you know, the Russians are bombing schools. But there's never a mention of children because they're not children in those schools. This is what these type of guerrilla fighters do. They won't go out and just fight. They hide. They shield behind civilians. They hide in areas like schools, and that's what kind of fight we're dealing with. Now, that tape you played at the beginning of the show was amazing. I have not heard that today. That was the first time I heard that, and that is really something. It kind of falls into, Michael, what I've been hearing, that the Ukrainian forces that are fighting the Russians will not let the refugees flee out of the country. They're making them stay there.
Right.
See, they operate with a human-type shield thing.
Yeah.
Crazy shit, huh?
Well, I mean, you know, yeah. That's their armor. That's like
Yeah.
I dare you, Putin. And you know what? I mean, if it comes down to it, it's gonna hurt. But Putin's gonna have to make a decision because he's gonna have to be all in with some consequences of cost that he did not want to take place. But you're either all in or you're gonna put your tail up your ass and run out, and it's all for nothing.
Yeah, he's not gonna do that.
No.
My gut feeling says he's gonna hold his ground, bro.
And that's why he took over. That's why Chernobyl, whatever you want to call it, that was the platform. That was the platform because they would have blamed something on him for something, and I think that was one of his smartest moves of go down in history. That they never thought that he would. They didn't even have really guard around it. They were unprepared for that. When he showed up and they took over that power plant, they had not a clue. They had not a clue. He blindsided those people. And here you did hear about the MiGs and the fighter jets and stuff that the United States is donating as well.
Yes. Now I want to comment on that. Okay, because
There's our tax dollars again. Give our military equipment away again.
So if whoever's if anybody's tuned in, okay, the United States has authorized the UN to send in aircraft. Well, okay.
Yeah, imagine that. Like we're running this deal. Like we're running this deal.
And I don't know if people know this because this just came out last night around midnight. But as soon as Putin found out that, he bombed every single airstrip in the entire country. That's breaking news right there, people.
Yeah.
He bombed every single, and now you look at Psaki came out today to do a news brief for the White House, and they said, well, we're not really sure where we're going to put the planes or put them out. Yeah, because the Russians blew up your damn runways, and they did it instantaneous. They're not playing around. Now, what I'm hearing, and I can't confirm this, but this is what I'm hearing. So I want to make sure I say that so that this isn't something that I'm saying is a fact. I have heard that the troops that have been entering and are inside Ukraine are JV forces, essentially. They're second-class young soldiers. They kind of bring out the fighters, and they're kind of almost sacrificed in a way, some of them. And then all of a sudden, you'll get special forces units that will come in and take out some of the insurgents or whatever you want to call it. Okay, defenders.
Yeah.
Now, I heard last night, Mike, and maybe you know more about this than me, that the full force of the Russian army is now on the move, coming in. The real boys.
Oh, they're there. Yeah, they're in now. They penetrated everywhere.
Well, they penetrated, but the main force or the JVs?
No, the main. They've all stepped in now.
Because that's huge. Now we're talking about serious Russian forces here. Not freshmen,
Right, and they're coming with the hardware. They're coming with the hardware.
Mm-hmm. Wow.
I think that's the point. I think they want to take Zelensky by. That's why I said earlier in the show. I says, who will his successor be? Because
that's what you meant by that. Okay.
You guarantee. Yeah. I mean, look. You know Putin's got a bullseye for that man. He knows the corruption. I mean, there's a lot here on the table why this has all happened. And until people really know the truth of the facts of all that, they're going to always weigh a different type of opinion on it because they're being fed as they watch being glued to their TVs,
Yes.
they think that we're on truth media forever. And,
Oh,
and,
man, isn't it crazy the psyop that's going on right now, Michael? The media in this country is only giving us their side version, their version of what they want us to see.
right.
Where you are, people like you doing podcasts and information there's the only places we're going to get this information. The only places.
Well,
networks
Putin's helping
like
us. Putin's helping all this.
He's fighting our enemies.
Yes, he
Our
is.
enemies
But it's
fighting
bigger than that.
our
Bigger than that. I mean, he's done his homework. He has information on everything, intel on everything. It's almost
Right.
like he's got a ghost hair in the United States.
Yes.
We talked the other night off the air. He has information on 9/11. He has a lot of stuff that's going to be mind blowing.
Okay, so I heard that and my ears perked up. That he has told the West, you keep it up, keep pushing your shit in here, and everything's going to come out. Even 9/11, we'll give up what we have on it, and they don't like that. So, is he blowing smoke? I don't know. But anytime I hear something about 9/11, obviously my ears perk up because there's so much unanswered there in the loss of life. But, getting back to the Ukraine, a general for the Russian army came forward today and talked about the fact that the Ukrainians were destroying evidence at these plants. What is there? 7 plants there, Michael?
As of today, between underground and surface, there were 13, and they were all destroyed.
Oh my God!
There were 13.
Oh my God! And now, okay, I heard that there was essentially the State Department flushed all that down the toilet. There was a direct link to United States funding those labs.
Right.
And that they have been, covering that up. In fact, they took it off their website. But some gal, and I don't know her name, I'm going to look into it more tonight, had posted that information, and that it's floating around the net right now before they took it off, because they just recently took it off.
Well, you have to keep in mind something that we talked about months ago. How many billions were invested into these bio research labs and development agencies? It was into the billions, and I'm talking not small billion. I'm talking like catastrophic large billions. It's stinks so bad large.
Of our money, Mike.
Yes.
Of yours, mine, our kids, our grandkids' grandkids.
And that's why they tax us as heavy as they do. They need to play in their playgrounds.
And what a better way to kind of generate more revenue by getting rid of some of the older folks around.
Sure.
Don't have to pay their Social Security either. So I think they were hoping that this COVID, because obviously at this point we have the knowledge now. We've called it from the beginning, but now we have it.
Right.
It was a biological weapon.
Yes.
So think of the trillions of dollars they could save by killing a lot of these old folks out and not having to ever pay these years of surgeries and Social Security and cancer treatments. I mean, it's huge. This is big, big money, man.
Something that surfaced tonight too. Speaking of that and the damaging effects worldwide, we're near 6 million, and that came from their mass news. 6 million people dead now.
Jeez, really?
Yeah, that came from them.
So those numbers are skewed.
Probably.
We don't. Yeah. Now, earlier when you started the show, I did mention that I had seen groups of Ukrainian fighters rocking the Nazi flag, and that is true. I sent you a photo.
Yeah.
There's a big article on it. They are carrying the UN flag as well as the Nazi flag. Now, we've known for years that there is groups of so-called Nazi groups, white supremacist groups that do operate there. And it's funny because they always accuse us of it, right?
Well, but
But it's funny that
and don't ever forget, Biden's a party to all that. That his KKK and Nazism, he is. It's not one hand's no different than the other. It's a relationship. They all have the same mission. It's their journey.
And, it's funny how many Americans, and I like to, I've told you before, I like to do I walk up to people and I'll do little surveys.
Yeah, right.
But how many people really don't understand that the Democratic Party is the one that was deep with the KKK? That's from the South. People are very confused on history.
Yeah, and we have the proof of everything that came out of Biden's mouth. How he stood in front of Congress and Senate, and he would drop the N-word all day. It didn't. My kids will not be in school with these type of, And I mean, it's if the proof's not out there, coming from his own mouth.
Mike, what did he say? You're not black if you don't
vote
for me,
for
or
me.
whatever his shit said.
Yeah, I know. Well, I mean, the change in narrative, the change in role now has come to a different place. And that's why I tell everybody, and even told Bill Muckler last night, he's an author of a couple books, a military man of two different military forces that he served with under. He was commander of, I believe, if I'm not mistaken.
That was your last night show. I fell asleep.
Yeah.
Listening to that on a repeat. And that guy was, what I heard was really good.
And, he's very withful at his age, 87 years old, going on 88. But he has a book called 2020. I mean, it was like he dreamt this stuff. He knew it. He foresaw it as well. And because why? It's not just about conspiracy. It's about facts. People call facts conspiracy. And it's called truth. Citizen journalism. Facts is truth.
And there is something about these people that do evil that they kind of flaunt it in your face. So if you just really read what they put out, you can see clearly what the future was going to become because that's what they want. So
yeah,
it's scary. It's a crazy deal. So I also heard Biden come out today, and because he's old and he's starting to lose some of his scruples, if you could say that. He said, well, Russia, attacking Russia. Putin is attacking Russia. And he doesn't even know where he's at, man. Obama's pushing the buttons in the background. They hit the wrong button on his teleprompter. But
I hit the nail on the head. I maybe it'll go viral someday, the Joe Obama thing. But I mean, truthfully, hey, I was involved on a couple other early narratives that went pretty good, and even Trump complimented one of them. But I know where and how it started, and I know whose mouth was running to get it going. But that's neither here or there. The facts are the truth, and what the people need to know. And if some of these actions that aren't going on right now really open up people's mind, the fight that the Americans are putting forth, the truckers, you and I, the podcasters, the citizens, the citizen journalists of America, the ones who are standing there, the Joe Rogans, everybody that makes a difference. If people are not waking, if people don't wake up in this moment, it's going to take a definite electromagnetic pulse to wake them up. And that will be the final disorder of what will actually, but it'll put us in a place that'll just be so disheartening. It'll be pathetic. And that's why I tell everybody, think before you, because we have these capabilities. And I even confirmed some of these capabilities last night live on the air. And these are silent weapons that you don't even know are going to happen. Yes. They don't even explode. They send out waves. And they will take you out. They will take a complete city out with just one wave of this. And that's what people have to worry about when I tell them, you'll be fighting an invisible army. Watch what you wish for. And I really do believe that when the upgrade to the Capitol and the upgrade to the White House had occurred about 2 months ago, where they were re-coordinating and ordering in more National Guard, and at least demanding for other states to release their National Guard to come up for services and whatnot. These were the reasons why they were putting certain sophisticated weaponry systems in place, and that's why I worry for our truckers. I totally worry for our
I do
truckers.
too. I don't know what's going to happen now, but I have listened to a couple of their speeches. In fact, I listened to one this morning where they gathered up, and the main guy that's leading it spoke, and they're playing it pretty smart. They are not pushing. They are completely nonviolent, but their drive is strong. So I don't see them leaving. I don't see them giving up. They are trying to sacrifice themselves for the better of all. And that's what he said. And I thought, wow, man, these guys they're serious.
You talking about that young dude? Yeah, were you talking
Mhm.
about the young dude through the American
Yes.
Convoy?
Yes.
Yeah, there was
Yes.
somebody in the background though. He was like, I traveled 1,926 miles not to hear this kind of shit. Like, what am I here for? And that's where we are facing a divide of anger there, and instead of being
there is
compliant.
angry people, and this is exactly what J6. You had pissed off people. You had people that wanted to do a peaceful protest, and it's an easy chance for things to get out of hand. And this is what they don't want. I have heard stories this morning that some of the truckers are starting to do the loop because, essentially, if people don't know, DC is a wagon wheel.
Yeah.
It's like a big wagon wheel with all these spokes. So some of the truckers have been going inside, closer to the monuments and stuff, but right now, most of the truckers are on the outskirts in big bands in different areas there. So it's gonna get real. It's gonna get real soon. Now, Michael, have you thought about, and I've been thinking about this, why are Ted Cruz's not over there? Why are none of our strong supporters even given a voice? Because you can turn on any channel right now on the tube, and you're not going to see anything about truckers.
I know,
Nothing.
and not from even our good representatives, but they are. But I am hearing that there has been some agreement to meetings now that they know that there are some people that have stepped up in front for the trucking convoy who are willing to meet. But look, they want. It means nothing unless you have signed articles of agreement. Binding.
Well, we know that the Senate has passed the bill to stop the mandate, and it's basically in the hands of Congress right now.
Right.
They have the paperwork. They're supposed to bring it up. It's supposed to be voted on. Now, I think the truckers, whether they time that perfect, because it's in the hands of the Congress, the truckers are there. The Senate already passed it. That's to my knowledge what's happening right now.
Right. It's almost going to be like, what are you here for? Doesn't even exist. And I've told them that would probably would be the awakening. And again, I could be totally wrong on it, but that's just my assumption, my opinion of it. But it doesn't matter. There's other demands going to be placed in.
Yes.
So that's the important factor of what the convoy's doing. They might extinguish part of this heated exchange of what's necessary, what's not, what we're not going to tolerate no more. And this will be lying out saying, hey, it's all over. You guys can go home. No, it's not that simple. They're going to have to deal with schools. They're going to have to deal with equality. They're going to have to deal with job fairness. They're going to have to deal with women's rights and wages. They want to go across the board on everything that was trampled back down on the American people to be brought back and brought back forth to normalcy. That's the part of the fight.
I don't know if that's biting off too much.
That is a big bite.
It's a big bite. I hope we can do it. I would just be happy to walk away with. There's no mandate on vaccines. It's people's choice. I hope we can get that. If we can walk away with that, that's a huge victory, because these politicians have so much power right now. They don't like to give up power. When they get power on us and we lose our rights, it's very hard to get back.
Sure.
And history kind of shows us you don't get that back unless there's bloodshed. So I'm not going to hold my breath. I'm praying for the truckers. I'm behind them, and if I was called to, I would go join those truckers. But I don't know. They're in my prayers, bro. They're in my prayers.
I hear you. I hear you.
I will say this. For instance, I got a call from my uncle last night. And he's older, but he's pretty informed. So he watches news and does his things, and he's a patriot. But when I told him about the Freedom Truck Rally in D.C., he knew nothing about it, and I couldn't believe it. What do you mean you don't know about it?
A lot of people
Well,
don't.
it just goes to show you that this propaganda machine controlled, with the media, is working. Unless you're truly informed and connected on the internet and watching these kind of shows like Studio 10 and so on and so on, you're not going to know this stuff's going on. I joined Arizona website close to my house, local. And I went on there the other night and I looked around and thought, oh, this is cool. There's dogs for sale, and just all these different things to help people. Well, this lady's on there, some older lady. She goes, well, why are all these trucks coming on the 40, and why are people waving American flags up? People have no clue what's going on. And I don't mean everybody. I mean a lot of people, though, because this is controlled by the media. Fox ain't playing nothing on it. Newsmax is not playing anything on it. The only people are doing it is guys like you and me and different podcasters out there, Michael. So please, I will say this as a fan and someone else that does podcasts, don't stop doing what you're doing, because it's making a difference.
No. I mean, I'm going to do the best I can. I'm going to take it as far as I can take it. The rest is going to have to be at some point in people's hands and bigger voices. It doesn't mean I'll go away. But I mean, sometimes you have to create a different function of focus. I found a bunch of people. I really did. And they were no longer in the patriot groups because they got tired of the suppression and the jail. And they were in the search for different things and they wanted normalcy in life. And we're not entitled to normalcy no more, but you can find things that are normal, whether they're believable or non-believable. People look for things like, I don't know if you heard, you're a California guy. Did you hear about the sightings over 501 down there, the freeway?
No.
Yeah, there's been a lot of UFO sightings out down there. I mean, it's a lot of, no joke. Even Jimmy Church was driving down the highway. He was going somewhere. I can't remember where he was going. And he only posted to his people, I guess he has respect to. And I get one of these posts when he does it.
Yeah,
and,
Jimmy's badass. Yeah.
And here he was videotaping it right on his phone. And then 2 days later, 2 days later, another guy showed up with one, and it couldn't have been anything else but because the movement, nothing else could have stayed up there in the sky the way this thing was moving. I mean,
and that was Mike. Was that SoCal? Was that Southern Cal there?
Yeah. Well, he said he was on the 501. That's how Jimmy said it. And the next one that I got came from someone that friended me through Jimmy. You know how you meet through people, and it came up on his timeline that was shared to me, and then voila, there's him. So I posted it in America Disclosing Uncensored. I think that one's in there, and it to look at it, it's hard to say exactly because I wasn't there in real time, but I just thought I'd bring that up because I didn't know if you heard anything.
That's cool that you brought that up. It was something I was going to ask you the last time we talked, because we get into ufology and cryptozoology and a lot of things that a lot of shows, don't do. So I was going to ask you this. Now, throughout history, and we even back in biblical times, in very strange events around the world, or I should say important events, there's always been an influx of a lot of UFO activity.
Mm-hmm.
So what I was wondering, and what I was going to ask you was, do we know if there is an increased UFO activity right now, because our world's in a lot of trouble right now. And I'm wondering, usually throughout history, we see that where they start monitoring and watching things. So,
or they feed off of it, because you're right.
Or they feel, I mean, we don't have the answers, but we know.
And every war.
Something. Yes, every war. Remember the food fighters? We had, the guys, whoever's listening right now, if you don't know what we're talking about, was pilots would be flying these bombing raids on Germany and over Europe, and they would report these crafts,
right?
Glowing lights, balls that would go around their ships, and they were extremely fast. And they thought, well, some people called them Hitler's, I forget the name they called them, but the name that stuck was Food Fighters.
Right.
Not the band, but the...
Makes you wonder, though, where that came from, huh?
Yeah, it's a strange name, but throughout history, if you look back at, Christopher Columbus's actual log, the whole crew, he called the crew up on board, and they witnessed this ball flying around at extreme speeds and went full blast into the water. Came back out of the water, and these are historical facts. So we know throughout history, in large events around the world, there's an increased activity of them. So I'm very curious on that particular sighting here. When I get off the phone, that's probably what I know. There's other things I want to look at, but now you got me.
You got really the buzz going on, huh? You got the buzz going on.
You gave me the fever, Michael.
That's all right.
So.
But you know what? If it gives you a little bit of personal time for yourself to just reflect to something different, maybe you can stumble upon the most fascinating things. And you're right. In wartime, it's always been reported that on so many accounts of unidentified flying objects have been sighted, seen, and more by the pilots and from the ground. Yes. I haven't heard anything like that going on between Russia and Ukraine. Not in real time of anything with any substance to it. Nothing like that. Nothing. Maybe
that's good in a way, because, Michael, we know these creatures probably can move ahead in time or back in time. They're probably, as well as so advanced, they probably have time travel. But if they're not showing up over there, maybe nothing extremely bad will happen. I mean, we know we've had some bad things happen. Nobody wants to see life taken, but
right.
Maybe things will settle down. Maybe the UN will back down, and Putin will just get what he needs out of there, destroy some of those bioweapon labs, which is a big fear of Russia. Supposedly, these people were trying to create a race-related bioweapon, and that's huge. I don't know if you've talked about that, Michael, but think about it.
Yeah, I know.
Related
bioweapon.
So
for specific.
If you wanted to target, Latino people or Asian people.
Well, that's part of what the whole. That's part of what the whole medication program was.
That's crazy.
I mean, I talked about it to the one black lady who called me and said I was fascinated and I liked your show. She stays in the dark, and she sent me a little bit of information, and I was intrigued. I had to call her back because I was like, I couldn't believe what she was telling me. She called the pharmacy, and she said, I'd like to come in for, I just want to make sure your time, and I'll be getting off work, such and such. And they were like, yeah, that's fine. Just come on in. When she got there, they were told her, oh, we can't give it to you. And she said, why? And she said, well, I really want to know why you can't give it to me. Do you have, I just watched somebody get one. And she says, but they're not for you. And she says, what do you mean they're not for me? She said, and quietly, she was a black woman. We'll just say that. They did not have the particular medication that could accommodate her. So there you have it. They are already doing it. It's already being used, but it doesn't mean that there isn't other. Yeah, but it doesn't mean that there's not other narratives of how they can attack. It's just.
Well, I it was never confirmed, but me and you both heard the rumors when they first started giving people the jab. If you go in there and you give them your ID, you give them your name, not everybody gets the same shot. When
Right.
you go and well, I'm Mexican or I'm this and that, and your ID, that's what the computer system tells them what shot to
I go out, tell them I'm an idiot, man. What do you got for me? You know, pot luck. Pot
Let
luck.
me tell you, your name's on a lot of lists, dude. If you ever went in there, they'd have a special one.
Oh, I don't know if it's that bad. I don't know if it's
I
that
think it is,
bad.
dude.
Yeah.
Do you remember?
But thanks for the
do you
compliment. I should live in fear a
Well,
little bit tonight when I sleep. huh?
Right. Do you remember the old stories about that they used to put little marks on people's mailboxes that were patriots, that were conspiratory theorists? Well, I heard those stories for many years, and I talked to many, many military guys, retired, and they claim, yes, they do that. You are marked. You're ex-military. You're a patriot. You are a threat to them. This is why they're dumbing down our kids and trying to make our boys to have less testosterone, less manlyhood, because men fight and resist, and they don't want none of that.
Right.
I wouldn't be surprised if there's some. Michael, I know that you're on lists, bro. Let's put it that way.
Shut up.
You're definitely on lists because I'm on
You're
like
too
7
kind.
lists.
You're too kind. I'm on the too kind list. No, I'm on the conspiracy terrorist list.
Right. I haven't flown in years, Mike. I don't know if you have, but I wonder if I'm even on a no-fly list. That I don't know. Probably not.
I never thought about that. Is it possible that because maybe we are identified that way and just don't know it yet?
I think so.
We're not
I
going to
did-
let
I
this prick
I
go
know that-
anywhere.
I
Yeah,
know it's getting late where you're at, but I'll tell you this real quick. When I made a trip to Mexico to get some ivermectin, and this is the funniest thing, the Mexican police stopped me going in to Mexico. Didn't stop anybody around me. Didn't stop any of my friends with me. They have this picture recognition thing in your face. It goes in a square.
yeah.
Walking, and they said, no, you come over here. And I was like, what the hell? So I waited in this room, and there was a couple other families in there, and people were crying in there. I'm like, what the hell am I doing in here? My girlfriend's out waiting for me, and the guy comes up and says, what's your reason for visiting Mexico? I was like, I'm just going to have fun. I want to eat lunch. He looks in the computer. He's looking. Okay. Let me see your ID. Looks at it. He's looking in the computer. He goes, okay. Just want to make note of everything. And okay, give me $40. What do you mean? $40. You want to go into Mexico? You need to give me $40. I said, well, what if I don't? You go back. What the hell? I gave him $40 and I went on my way. So whether I was just being extorted or there's something in my name to, I don't know, keep an
Wow.
eye on them, document, I don't know. But this is a true story that just happened to me a couple months ago. Because I have been going back and forth to Mexico and buying lots of ivermectin as much as I can. It's cheap there.
Right.
I know it's harder to get here, and I don't know. It's very strange. I usually drive in this particular town. I walked in, and immediately they pulled me to the side. Yes. So, Mike, we're probably on some kind of weird list. I know.
Maybe.
The shit we talk about. The shit we talk about, bro. And you know what? We talk about so much stuff, and you do tons of stuff. It's hard to tell when you're over the target. There's a lot of targets.
I'll bet money I've hit the target point many times.
I think so.
I just don't know where they exactly all lay. That's the funny part. Like you said, we go over them. We probably hit them. I wish I could have a better sense of direction of where they exactly are. However, it's everywhere. And it comes down to how we're living. what they push on us, and they're on their own worst enemies. We sit here and just
Yes.
basically tell the world how big of that they're not. I don't want to get into too much foul mouth stuff, but
Right.
you can't like these people. You just can't. You cannot like them. They
Well,
don't.
you've said it before, Mike. It's really about good versus evil at this point. There's really not a lot of middle ground anymore.
No, there isn't, and a lot of people are still, believing in the biblical, the Bible. And if you really do believe in it, I mean, our demise is soon to come, no matter how you look at it. Then, I mean, in certain ways, I mean, will we be saved? Maybe, but I just as soon enjoy some more life before I'm saved for anything that I did.
Absolutely. I want to go fishing with my grandkids.
Right.
I want to have grandkids. I want to be able to camp and do my things and enjoy nature. Absolutely. Mike, you brought that up on a biblical end of this. Lots and lots. I live in a very populated Latino community, and I work with a lot of Latino people, and I'm half Spanish, so I can say this, that the majority of people I know feel that this whole Ukraine thing is in the prophecies, that this is part of the ending times in the Bible. I don't know what you know about that.
I know a lot.
But they seem to be convinced.
Yeah, they see it, and then to be perfectly honest with you, much of everything that we've lived through is described. It's more or less a dictation of the future, and we're living it now. And a preparation to it. And I mean, really, there's true stories in it, without a doubt. But if you go into Ezekiel and you go into Book of Enoch and whatnot, and I mean, there's a description of things, of a lot of things, and the end of times, and it's pretty amazing. It's not a night for religion, but it's a fascinating topic. The point is, when I get into it, I sometimes get into it in a way, where I may not come across to people due to the information intake that I've had and been exposed to, that they may not want to agree with me on it, even though it's in black and white writing.
It's a touchy subject.
But it's still fascinating. I mean, we can talk about it.
Very fascinating. It's very fascinating.
But to me, it was a guide. It's a biblical guide of the future. And I'm not trying to dog it, but it's very informative. If you look for the information that is informative, it will direct you to a bunch of different dialogues of different books, of different passages, of different people, and it will tell you about where we are right now. And there's no lie behind that.
I think it'd be cool if we could see the whole Bible as a whole. What are we only getting, about 15 or 20% of the Bible, the original Bible?
No, it's more than that. I posted one of the oldest Bibles in the world up on America Disclosing 2 or 3 days ago, and I think it had 81. Okay. It reflected 81 books of the original truths.
So they just took a little bit of the weird stuff that we didn't want. I heard rumors that
this has a lot of the weird stuff in it, but again.
Really?
Yeah, I don't know if you're able to download it or how you could Amazon rent it, whatever, and all those things like that. I don't know, but I do know that I have a lot of information. If you want to, talk about it offline.
Because people ask me questions all the time, and I don't have the answers because I'm not as knowledgeable about it as you are.
Yeah, you are. You're every bit as knowledgeable. It comes down to common sense, and you'll reflect. Your memory will allow you to open and reflect. I guarantee you it. These are things that we were taught as kids in ways, truthfully.
Yeah.
I mean, I was in a Catholic school. I was taught different aspects of things. Was I taught everything? No. That was the fascination why I followed my footsteps in those directions, because I knew there was a certain sense of truth that was much deeper than anybody's willing to face in the books in a lot of ways. And I do support
Michael,
the books.
I could just picture a nun with a ruler, slapping the shit out of the back of your hands.
Oh,
Young boy,
I think I told you that story.
that's a trip.
She tried to cripple me, that lady. My brother,
I
wow.
was just joking. No, I didn't know that story.
It's not a joke. It's not a joke. Yeah, she about broke every finger on my hands, man, with a paddle
Oh,
yet.
my God, I was just teasing, Mike. I didn't know.
Yeah, it was with it wasn't open palm. The first time she got me, it was open palm. And all it was misbehaving, running up and down steps as kids do. I was probably in 3rd grade. At St. Mary's, it was called St. Mary's in Pittsburgh, up on 45th, 46th Street, whatever, one of them. And the next time I did it, my brother was at the top of the stairwell, and I didn't know it. Now he's 7 years older than me, so he's like 7 grades ahead of me, whatever, something like that. I don't know. Well, I was young, and man, the first hit, one was open palm. The second one, she goes, "Nah, this is your second time. You turn your hand over." And I turned my hands over, and I'll tell you what.
You don't forget that.
Man, I screamed, man. I screamed like a little sissy boy. I ain't gonna lie to you, man. I thought she broke every finger in my hands. And maybe that's where I suffer from in my hands now, from a couple of those excruciating. Anyway, my brother said something, and I don't know what. I was busy to be in tears and whatnot and looking up and knowing he was there. He punched her in her face, and she flew down the steps, and they were concrete steps.
He protected his little brother.
I got to tell you, man, it took Dad and Mom a lot of talking to the priest to get us allowed back into school. I ain't joking.
Oh, my gosh. Wow.
I ain't joking. But you know what? We lived in a different time, and these people were just vicious even back then. They were keeping us in order, military style, these women.
Oh, yeah. I mean, even at regular schools, I went to a regular public school, they still spanked. There's a big paddle with holes in it. I remember that day. So,
Yeah.
I don't know. I think some of these kids kind of need it anyway these days, but, that's where we're at.
A lot never got it at home. But you know what? The thing was, even me, in raising kids, I said to myself, I want to raise my kids different than how my parents raised me. And some cases, it's the case scenario of how you're raised. And, you have a different ideology of what's proper and what's not. I didn't really want to ever beat my kids. I really wanted to try to get into their heads. And that backfired in ways. It backfired in ways, but it still worked in ways.
I think some kids are different, too. I think, you have to kind of approach it by the kid, but I was lucky enough to use more psychology on my son. I never had to spank him, because there's other ways to make him feel like shit without spanking him. But, I did what I did. I think I raised a good kid, and I think I did pretty well, and I instilled the values that I learned. So,
yeah.
But a nice smack across the hand or a shoe on the butt, I don't see it's hurting anything.
Or a wooden spoon. Phew, those things hurt.
Oh, my aunt's wooden spoon, yeah. I still have the spoon. She's passed away many years ago.
Oh.
But it was one thing that, when we cleaned out her house and such, that I remembered. And so I still have that spoon.
No shit.
Yeah.
I would have burned it.
Michael, I appreciate you taking my call.
Oh, it's always fun. It was actually a little boring tonight because it was supposed to go a whole different way and it didn't. So it was great that you came in and talked. I appreciate it, brother. You saved the day a little bit here, man. For real.
It's always good to reflect some new news and different things. Absolutely.
Yeah. All right. Well, we'll talk again soon, man. Say good night to everybody.
Okay. Appreciate it. Have a good night.
Good night, everyone.
Good night, guys.
You guys take care, man. I hope we gave you some enlightening information and some things that mattered. We'll try to do better next time. However, technology, even as good as it is, it doesn't always pay off and come through for you. But again, I enjoyed it. I'm glad I could have been here for you, and hope you got something out of it that made a difference. You guys take care. Tonight's an early day tomorrow. I'm out of here. Don't judge me. I'll never judge you.